three computers, printers are connected, and one router are also connected. WAN, wide area network. WAN stands for wide area network. WAN ownership can be private or public. The speed of WAN is lower than LAN. WAN covers a large geographical area. WAN has a lower data transfer rate as compared to LAN.
हाँ वो स्टैंड लाने गया
LAN
वीडियो होगा ना
image. MAN, metropolitan area network. MAN stands for metropolitan area network. MAN might not be owned by one organization. The transmission speed of MAN is faster than WAN. Metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network, office building, universities, campus, government building, residential area, all of these are covered by MAN networking. Types of networking. Types of networks based on components known. First, peer-to-peer (P2P) architecture. Network in which all computers have an equal status are called peer-to-peer networks. Generally, in such a network, each terminal has an equally competent CPU, equal CPU. This image is peer-to-peer network architecture. Second is client-server architectures. Networks in which certain computers have a special and dedicated task providing services to other computers in the network are called client-server networks. The computers which provide services are called servers, and the ones that use these services are called clients, and these are the servers, and these are the clients and computers. Next topic is internet and its components. Internet. The internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks that use the standard internet protocol suite to serve billions of users worldwide. And it is a network of networks that consists of million private computers and public, academic, business and government networks. Internet. And www, World Wide Web. Shortly say that W3, commonly known as the web, is a system of interlinked hypertext documents accessed via the internet. With a browser, one can view web pages that may contain text, images, videos, and other multimedia and navigate between them via hyperlinks. WW was proposed between 1989 and 1991 by Tim Berners-Lee, developer of WW. Some of the advantages associated with networking are data sharing. One of the most important uses of networking is to allow the sharing of data with the multiple file transfer. User can send text file, spreadsheets, document presentations, audio files, video files, to and other uses. Hardware components such as printers, scanners, etc. can also be shared. For example, instead of purchasing 10 printers for each user, one printer can purchase and share among multi-user, thus by saving cost. Internet access sale. You can purchase a single internet instead of purchasing multiple internet connections for each computer. Uses of networks based applications such as web browsers are used in internet, email clients, chat applications, audio and video calling, etc. is another advantage. Getting access to the internet. How you can access to the internet? Internet connections are provided by internet service provider (ISP) such as Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, BSNL, Airtel, MTS, Voda, Jio, etc. Internet service provider (ISP). An internet service provider is an organization which provides you with access to the internet via dial-up or direct or wireless connections. Types of common internet connectivity. Different types of common internet connectivity. Technology dial-up. Types of connectivity wire. Second is DSL wire. Third is cable internet access wire. 3G wireless, WiMAX wireless, Wi-Fi wireless.
Communication on the internet has always been a complex topic to cover, partly because of the various pieces of the puzzle, from basic appliances like routers to multi-server data hub. Networking usually follows a particular structure that is then scaled based on the requirement. Welcome to this video on the basics of networking, where we cover the multiple hardware elements and topologies of how these network setups work. The several of the things we will be covering today in our video. We start by learning about the different network types and the importance of an IP address in a network environment. Next, we cover the significance of switches and the working of routers in a network. Moving on, we cover the explanation of subnets in a network and the importance of network address translation or NAT. Finally, we understand how firewalls work and the distinct use cases of DMZs and port forwarding. Before moving forward, ensure you subscribe to our channel and have hit the bell icon to never miss an update from Centrila. So let's get started with the two major types of network that should be considered basic knowledge for someone starting off with networking: LANs and WANs. The first variety of network is a local area network, also known as LAN. It comprises of cables, gateways, switches, routers, and additional parts that allow these devices to connect to private servers, cloud services, and other LANs via larger networks. The growth of virtualization has also sped up the creation of virtual LANs, which let network managers divide and logically organize network nodes without having to make significant modifications to the infrastructure. The computers in each department can be conceptually linked to the same switch in an office with many departments, be it accountancy, IT support, and administration. Still, they might be segregated to operate separately. The benefits of a LAN are similar to those of any collection of connected devices. They may access and even control one another, exchange files, print to shared printers, and utilize a simple internet connection. To better understand this logic, let us take a sample structure. You can see the various components of a local network connection in this picture. And now you can see three different devices: a system, a laptop, and a printer. So we have these three devices that can be connected to a single local area network. Now to identify these devices inside the network, we need to assign an identifier to each device. So this is where an IP address can help. An IP address is a memory string of digits allocated to any device connected to a network that utilizes Internet Protocol as the communication medium. It's the digital equivalent of your house or workplace's mailing address. The addresses are divided into four sections separated by dot. Each positional base string numeral portion represents an 8-bit binary integer which can range from 0 to 255. These four integers are expressed in normal decimal notation and then separated by dot. However, computers work with binary numbers, meaning zeros and ones. and each number in an IPv4 address represents an 8-bit binary integer, which is why none of them can be more than 2.5. The distribution of these IP addresses is not just limited to LAN. Every device which is a part of the network will have its own IP address assigned by the network administrator. As seen in the picture, we can now identify each device individually by the designated IP addresses. Now, the primary purpose of the network being the ability of multiple devices to communicate and exchange information with each other, these IP addresses serve only half the purpose, since allotment and identification of these addresses need to be managed automatically and on demand. If the laptop shown on the left of the screen wants to use the printer in the network, it needs to know which particular device, or more precisely, which particular IP address to communicate. This is where a switch comes into play. It takes the role of the delegation of commands in a particular network. Let's learn more about switches in detail. A network switch joins devices in a network, which is computers, printers, wireless access points, and allows them to communicate with each other by exchanging data packets. They can be both physical hardware devices that handle real networks or software-based virtual devices. The vast majority of network equipment in modern data networks are switches. They link desktop PCs, access points, automotive equipment, and some IoT devices via wired connections such as card entry systems. They link the computers in data centers that run virtual machines or VMs, as well as an actual server and most of its storage. Based on the type of switches employed, they can either differentiate between network devices using either the IP addresses or MAC addresses, which are separate types of addresses allotted to each hardware device, irrespective of the network it is connected to. Now that we understand the major parts of a local area network, a major query that may come to your mind is how can these local networks then communicate with other networks? A router is employed at the forefront of every network setup to facilitate communication between foreign networks. This router can then be used to connect to the internet so we can communicate with the loved ones from the comfort of our own home. So let's learn a little more about routers. The router is a physical or virtualized internet networking equipment that receives, analyzes, and transmits data packets across computer networks. The router checks a data packet's destination IP address and utilizes headers and forwarding tables to determine the best path to transport the packet. Consider the router to be an air traffic controller and data packets to be airplanes flying to various airports or networks in space. Each package, like you check, has a unique destination and must be steered to its destination as effectively as possible. A router helps direct these data packets to the intended IP addresses in the same manner that the air traffic controller ensures that flights arrive at their destination without getting lost or experiencing severe disruption. A router employs an internal routing table, which is a collection of pathways to multiple network destinations to properly direct packets. It scans the header of a packet to establish its destination, then consults the routing table to find the most efficient way to their destination. The packet is subsequently sent to the next network along the route. A router also has an IP address, which is often called as the network gateway. The crucial part of the networking setup is determining whether a particular piece of hardware is a part of a local network or a foreign device. As you already know, specific IP addresses exist for each device in a network, be it a local or wide area network. All these IP addresses must belong to a particular range of addresses, which are often known as the subnet or subnetwork, and which help determine the overall range of a local area network. For example, the IP addresses that can be seen on the screen right now belong to a subnet that is 255.255.0.0. The first two flags denote fixed values that must be present in every single IP address of every single device in this particular network. In our case, the 192.168 is the consistent factor in every single IP address shown on the screen. This implies that if the devices can connect to a piece of equipment with an IP address and it starts from 192.168, that device will most likely be in the same local area network. The last two places are the free ranges in this example, which means there can be any number less than 255, further helping the router and switch differentiate between multiple IP addresses in a network. With that being said, we can now take a look at how wide area networks work. A wide area network, or a WAN, is in its most basic form a collection of local area networks or any other networks that interact with one another. Wide area network is essentially a network of networks, with the internet serving as the world's biggest one. However, when a router communicates with devices outside a local network, it tends to mask the internally allocated IP addresses and uses a single public IP address for all the devices. This process is called network address translation or NAT IP allocation. A network address translation is the method of translating one IP address to another while these packets are in transit through a router. This improves security and reduces the number of IP addresses required by a company. Once a router receives some particular information that must be transmitted to a local device in the network, it checks the internal routing tables to determine the correct internal IP address and the correct destination to send the externally received data to. But let's say a device on the external network or a wide area network wants to communicate directly with the device on the local network. This cannot be allowed since this can be a very big security risk for devices in a secure environment. All of this entry and exit through creation and handling can be taken care of by a firewall. A firewall is a type of network security device that analyzes the incoming and outgoing networking traffic and allows or denies data packets depending on a set of security rules. Its objective is to provide a barrier between the local network and external traffic such as the internet. The most common sort of firewall, which are packet filtering firewalls, check packets and prevent them from getting through if they do not maintain established security rules. This sort of firewall examines the packet destination and source IP addresses. If the packet fits an allowed rule on the firewall, they are permitted to access the network. But let's say we, as users, want to allow external requests to reach individual computers or devices on our local network. There are two ways to facilitate this behavior. The first way to go through this step is by using a DMZ, which stands for a demilitarized zone. Instead of communicating directly with the local network device, the external data is sent to the router instead. The router will have created a DMZ subnetwork with only those devices active that require the external information to reach them unaltered. Once the data is received by the router, it passes it on to the DMZ subnet and subsequently to all the devices which are a part of that subnet. However, since the external data can reach devices in the network without any firewall checks if they are part of the DMZ subnet, the security risks associated with this method are very large compared to the second variant, which is port forwarding. Port forwarding is a method of granting external devices access to computers on private networks. It accomplishes this by translating an external IP address and port to an internal IP address and port. All the devices talk to each other and the network gateway using the IP addresses as its ports. For example, the TCP IP protocol, basic internet usage, uses port 80 on every network. Similarly, we can create additional firewall rules to open up certain ports for external devices to communicate. If the designated ports are open during communication, the firewall will allow the external network device or server to communicate directly with the local network device without any hindrance. That's all you really need to know for now about the basics of network. Hope you learned something new today. If you have any questions about today's topics, please let us know in the comment section below and we will get back.
सेकेंड सेशन इज इंट्रोडक्शन टू इंस्टेंट मैसेजिंग, शॉर्ट में IM. IM allow user to exchange text messages with connected parties in real time. Most instant messaging software include the option for performing file transfer, audio chat, video calling and conferencing, sharing desktop, etc. Apart from a standard text chat, key features of instant messaging are Text message can be sent to one or more person, similar to SMS. SMS is just like IM. Audio calling and conferencing, video calling and conferencing, file transfer, not limited to documents, spreadsheet, audio file, video file, etc. Many documents are to file transfer. Message history, save message for future reference. We can see the message history. Instant messaging services. There are two kinds of instant messaging software. First is application based and second is web based. Application based instant messaging software is downloaded and installed on user computers. Some of the popular instant messaging softwares are Skype. We are all of the familiar with the Skype. Windows Live Messenger. It's already installed in computer laptops. Ready Board, etc. Next, second is web-based instant messaging. Software is accessed using browser such as Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome. It is some of the popular web-based instant messaging software are Vivo, Yahoo Messenger for the web, MSN Web Messenger, IMO, etc. General rules and equities for chatting. Rules for chatting. Start with a short greeting. That was the rule of chatting. Start with a short greeting. Keep the conversation short. Conversation already short. Third, use proper punctuations. Fourth, avoid caps lock. Be pleasant. Keep it short and sweet. Seven, end the conversation with a short closing, not a long, only short closing. Session third is creating and publishing web-based blog. First is blog. A blog refers to an online journal where entries are posted on the internet, web page, websites. Blog are similar to an online personal diary and simple to use. Blog are just like a personal diary. There are hundreds of websites that offer blog services for free. Some of the popular blogs include WordPress. You have to create your own blog with the WordPress software. www.blogger.com, blog.com, weebly.com, blogsome.com. Blogger, a person who writes and maintains a blog is called blogger. Blogging, the art of writing a blog is called blogging. Types of blog, personal blog. This is the most common type of blog. Everybody knows that the personal blog. News and views. These types of blog contain factual stories about news maintained by journalists. Company blog. Corporate blog is a blog that is published and used by organizations, corporations, etc. Microblogs. This is a new type of blog where one can post every short comment that other can follow. Example, Twitter. It is the advantage of blogging. It enables us to write down our thoughts on anything that interests us. It is easy to set up and does not need much technical knowledge. Third point, it is easy, quick to update or add new posts. People can leave comments on our blogs. If we want to read other people's blogs, there are literally millions to choose from. Next topic is disadvantage of blogging. Whatever we publish Blog can be time consuming. Finding time to write regular update can become a chore. People may leave rude or inappropriate comments.
Hello my dear students, this is Swati Chawla. I welcome all of you on my YouTube. Creating and web pages, that is blog. These are the various subtopics that we will blogs, what are learn and appreciate blogs, what are the various websites through which we can create our blogs, learn and appreciate a So I hope now you are ready to learn something new. Let's start with the introduction first, that is what are blogs. A blog is a discussion style site used by non-technical as well as the technical users for creating a personal web page. See, अगर आपके लिए blog वर्ड एक न्यू टर्म है तो वेबसाइट वर्ड तो आपने डेफिनेटली सुना हो, राइट? वेबसाइट जनरली हमें लार्ज स्केल पर क्रिएट करते हैं. अगर मैं काफ़ी मेरे पास फाइनेंस अच्छा है तो मैं अपनी बहुत बढ़िया सी वेबसाइट क्रिएट कर सकती हूँ. बट अगर आप इंडिविजुअल की बात करें तो वहाँ पर हम जनरली ब्लॉग क्रिएट करते हैं, खुद का ब्लॉग. सपोज मुझे पॉइंट्स लिखने का शौक है या शेर और शायरी का बहुत शौक है तो वहाँ पर मैं वेबसाइट ना क्रिएट करने के बजाय आई विल गो विद द ब्लॉग, आई विल क्रिएट अ ब्लॉग. इट इज़ अ डिस्कशन स्टाइल. डिस्कशन स्टाइल में आपने अपनी कोई भी पोस्ट करी, सामने वाले पर्सन को कमेंट कर सकते हैं, अपने व्यूज शेयर कर सकते हैं. इट कैन बी यूज फॉर नॉन टेक्निकल एज वेल एज द टेक्निकल यूजर्स. नॉन टेक्निकल से यहाँ पर हमारा मतलब है जिनकी प्रोग्रामिंग स्किल्स इतनी अच्छी नहीं है. ठीक है, अगर मैं बात करूँ HTML, CSS, जावास्क्रिप्ट, इनके थ्रू हम बहुत बढ़िया वेबसाइट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. दीज आर वेरी बेसिक. बट अगर आपको प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस इतने अच्छे से नहीं आती हैं, आपको इस चीज़ में स्किल डेवलप नहीं है, ठीक है, तो आप नॉन टेक्निकल यूजर हो, तो देन ऑल्सो वी कैन क्रिएट आवर ओन ब्लॉग्स. इट कैन फॉर क्रिएटिंग इट कैन बी यूज टू क्रिएट पर्सनल वेब पेजेस. पर्सनल सी अगर हम लोग कंपनी की बात करें, तो स्कूल की बात करो, किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की बात करें, वो ब्लॉग में क्रिएट करते हैं. दे यूज टू क्रिएट द वेबसाइट. वहाँ पर वो प्रेफर क्या करते हैं, वेबसाइट क्रिएट. बट हाँ, अगर मैं पर्सनल खुद का कुछ क्रिएट करना चाह रही हूँ, मेरे पास खुद का कुछ एजुकेशन मटेरियल फिर आप लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाह रही हूँ, या फिर मुझे पोस्ट लिखने का शौक है, एसेस लिखना है, इस तरीके से अगर मैं कुछ भी शेयर करना चाह रही हूँ अपना पर्सनल, वो आपका किसके अंदर आता है बेटा, ब्लॉग्स के. ब्लॉग्स आर सिमिलर टू एन ऑनलाइन पर्सनल डायरी एंड सिंपल टू यूज. अब काफ़ी पर्सन्स, काफ़ी स्टूडेंट्स को हैबिट क्या होती है, पूरा जो आपकी दिनचर्या होती है, राइट, डेली रूटीन, हम लोग उसको एट द नाइट, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे उसको डायरी में नोट डाउन करते हैं क्या क्या हमारे साथ हुआ. तो इस तरीके से आप इसको कह सकते हैं सिमिलर टू एन ऑनलाइन पर्सनल डायरी. You can use a blog to convey messages about events, announcements, news, reviews, etc. आप इसमें से किसी इवेंट ब्लॉग अगर आप क्रिएट करना चाह रहे हो, किसी कोई इवेंट आपने ऑर्गेनाइज किया, उसके लिए ब्लॉग बना दिया, कुछ आपने अनाउंसमेंट करनी है, इस तरीके से आपने काफ़ी सारे ब्लॉग्स क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. Notes are usually managed using a web browser and this requires an active internet connection. सी आज की डेट में ऑब्वियसली इंटरनेट चाहिए ही चाहिए किसी भी काम के लिए, ठीक है. तो अगर मुझे ब्लॉग क्रिएट करना है, फॉर दैट ऑल्सो आई नीड वन वेब ब्राउजर जो मेरे सिस्टम में इंस्टॉल है, ऑब्वियसली आपके में भी होगा, ठीक है. प्लस यू मस्ट रिक्वायर एन इंटरनेट कनेक्शन. You can also use offline blog software to create content first and later publish the content when an active internet connection is available.